Hey there guys, welcome back to the AEK series. Today we're going to be playing A.E.K in the Cup. It's the second leg. We went to their ground and drew 2-2 in the first leg, so the tie is wide open. It's a quarter-final. If you remember from part 1, in the first season, A.E.K were our opponents in the semi-finals of the Cup, and they knocked us out. So if we can get revenge in the quarter-finals, that would be sweet as. So I'm just going to go into the fixtures that we've played since the last episode. Well, we've bounced back fairly well from the Olympiakos defeat. The Greek Cup third round second leg game was another narrow win against Kakaira. We were never really troubled, pretty comfortable game. Borja Sanchez for them getting on the score sheet in the 89th minute. Scoreline flattered Kakaira a little bit, but the main thing is we got through. And with our morale still sort of shaken from the Olympiakos defeat, we managed to pick up a good 2-1 win against today's opponents, Olympiakos. A goal from Pratelas and then one from Klas Mulner got us a 2-0 lead before Georgiidis for Olympiakos got a stoppage time consolation goal at the end of the game. We then played Tripolis, who have been going very well in the league this season, still holding on to third place, but we managed to pick up a win. Entirely undeserved. We've absolutely FM'd them there. Look at that, 28 shots. But I think their manager will be slightly concerned that they only managed to put 6 of those on target. They also completely dominated the possession. So I'd say that was definitely a bit of a robbery there. But nevertheless, a good way to carry on a winning run. As previously mentioned, the next cup tie was the quarter-final against Olympiakos, and we snatched a 2-2 draw. As you can see, Cordero missed a penalty, so we could have actually won that tie. But nevertheless, we've got 2 away goals, and I'd say we've got a pretty good chance of making it to the semi-finals of the Cup for the second year running. Cordero actually took the lead after missing the penalty on 36 minutes, Nigel Hasselbank equalising for them, and then Magas taking the lead for Olympiakos on 68. It was up to Kolovestios, the centre-back, to follow up from a corner to make it 2-2 on 85 minutes. We then had another league game. PAS Gianna, bottom half team, fairly comfortably took them out. This time it was an early goal from the opponent. Brana Ilic on 2 minutes got them the lead, but we quickly restored our dominance over them. Goals from Mantelos and Platelas sealing another victory. The last game we played in the league was another game against PAOK, who are probably the best team outside of Athens, I'd say. Obviously the big three is me, Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, the Athens clubs, but I think we competed fairly well. I think statistically we're very similar to PAOK at the moment. I think we'll both be contesting that 4th, 5th place spot. I've read up on the rules of the Greek league actually. That was another thing I was going to mention. And it turns out that in terms of European qualification, there's a playoff for European places. So we need to finish 5th or above to get those, to be in with a chance of getting into Europe. The winners of the playoff go into the Champions League. The runners-up of the playoff get a spot in the Europa League, and the cup winners also get a spot in the Europa League. I'm not too sure what happens if the cup winners have already qualified for the Champions League. That's something maybe we're just going to have to wait and see. Anyway, those results leave the table looking like this. We're heading a group of 4 teams that are incredibly tightly packed together. Us and PAOK on 39 points, Olympiakos and Platinias on 38, just 1 point behind. So it's looking like 5th place is going to be very tightly contested. But there's 7 games to go, and I still think we can catch this group ahead of us, which includes Panathinaikos, who are leading, Olympiakos, Tripolis, and Panetolikos. I think the title's just within our reach, but I think we'd have to go on one hell of a good run, and you'd need both Panathinaikos and Olympiakos to have a bit of a shit final 7 games. Besides, nobody really deserves to win the title when they've lost 8 games. That just doesn't tend to happen. Nevertheless, it's pleasing to know that we still have an outside chance of winning the league, having just been promoted. Mantelos, our attacking midfielder, He's been reintroduced into the side recently and has come up with some great goals for us. I'm sure you noticed me mention his name a few times. That can only be a good sign. I think he's developing into a pretty good player. His contract expires in 2019 now, so we've got him tied down for a while, on a relatively low wage as well. So I'm pretty pleased with his progress. Knasmulner has come up with some pretty good goals in recent games anyway. I've signed him at the start of the season, as I said in the first episode, and yeah, he's certainly been worth the money so far. Just under 500k I think I spent on him, and his value's already gone up to 1 mil. So he's making very good progress at the club. Platelas has had a pretty good season. He's come in when needed on the wing, chipped in with some very good goals. He's sort of the backup winger on either side. I prefer to play Helder Barbosa on the left and Tunis on the right. Barbosa's currently injured, so he's having a bit of a spell on the left at the moment. Zizinho's probably been the best player so far this season, but unfortunately he is injured at the moment. He should be back within 2 weeks though, so he should be fit for the tail end of the season, luckily for us. He's really made the midfield tick when he's come on. He's definitely, I'd say, been a game changer for us. And again, signing him for 100k, his value's already gone up to 600k, so that's brilliant. Anyway, let's get into the game then. We have a chance to make it to the Greek Cup semi-finals for the second year running. That's the team the assistant has suggested. I'm not sure what I'd change about this team. I'll definitely bring Aravidis on for Bresovic. He's just a better player. Patelas will go on the left. That makes sense. And I think I'll put Bakakis as right back. I think that team is good to go. Let's get into the game. Okay, we're away, and it's Levediakos to kick off. We've got the away goal advantage, so all we really need to do is hold out. So let's hope it's 90 minutes of bus parking and we can all go home early. Well, it's proven to be bus parking in the first 18 minutes, but now we have a highlight. Starting to get a foothold on the game, which is good to see. Probably one more goal will kill this tie off, providing Levediakos don't have a worldie of a comeback. Aravidis has got that goal that I have proclaimed to be the goal that kills the tie. Let's hope I don't have to eat my words. Aravidis chipping in straight away after coming back from injury. That's the mark of a very good player. And now Bakakis has a throw in on the right. He's going to get tackled by Papas. But Cialis will mop up. Nobody within 40 miles of him there. Knasmulner has it in the middle. It's Kolovestios now. Mantalos slips in Aravidis, who's just going to hold it on the edge of the box. Gets tackled. There's an almighty scramble, but Bakakis... I can't get my words out, but Bakakis has made it 2-0. That's the goal that's killed the tie. There we go. It's a bit of a foregone conclusion now, isn't it? Let's just see how much we can win by. I was expecting this to be some sort of titanic battle for the honour of being a semi-finalist in the Greek Cup. It hasn't worked out that way, but luckily it's worked in our favour, and we should be good to go for the Greek Cup. Can we get a third just before half-time? The answer is probably no, unless Mantalos can whip in a quality ball. He's decided to ping it back to Cordero. And Mantalos now back to Cordero. Conboy maybe on the overlap. What can he do? We're just passing it about. There's no need to rush anything. Mantalos now has it in the middle, and Tunis cuts inside. That's a free kick. And that's half time. We are off then for the second half. Just play a little bit of keep ball, see it through, and we should be Greek Cup semi-finalists again. In terms of substitutions, lots of 16-year-olds on the bench, making the substitutions a little bit awkward. Nevertheless, I'm going to bring on one of those 16-year-olds. Vatromitros. It takes me a few seconds to learn how to pronounce these names, but he can go on the wing. And I'm going to put Cornell Rapper on the right of the defence. Let's see what that does. Let's see how the 16-year-old performs. I'm not going to attempt to remember his name. Emmanuel Kone then whipping it in for Levediakos. Let's see if they can muster a response. Well, Kevin Conboy has certainly bloody well helped that, hasn't he? Levediakos have a penalty. Papas then. It's saved. Conboy gets away with that mistake. And it's just not going to be Levediakos' day, I don't think. That sort of sums it up for them. They've not had a sniff, and even when they do have the opportunity, they've just not really been at the races. And we're just winding down now. Impressed with how many shots we've had on target. It's been a good performance to see us home. Corner now, 40 seconds to go. It's dealt with fairly comfortably. And Warden now spearheading the late counter-attack from Levediakos. But Rapper will intercept, and this should be the game. There we go, full time, 2-0, 4-2 on aggregate. We are through to the semi-finals. That is baller. Alright guys, I've decided to live-com the semi-final draw, see who we can get in the Greek Cup. We've got us, Olympiakos, Lamia and Platanias. Now, I think we can take any of these apart from Olympiakos. So, hopefully we can get into the final by avoiding Olympiakos. And maybe, just maybe in the final, getting our first Athens derby win. That would be something sweet. Let's draw the teams. Lamia will host Platanias. So, the first leg is away. We're going to be playing Olympiakos. Well, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. I'm looking at a double live com, I reckon, for this Cup semi-final. See what we can do against the boys in red and white. That's going to be it for this episode then. Next episode, as I've said, will be the Cup semi-final. And I also should have a domestics... I should have a league end-of-season live com as well, because it's getting a bit interesting near the top of the table, as you probably noticed earlier on. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Take care. See you later.